friends. Welcome to LeggLife Podcast. My name is Adam.
My name is Sherry.
Sherry Beth, what episode is this?
164.
It is, and it is the third episode in our Things We Wish We Knew Before ... series. We started it with week 1, Things We Wish We Knew Before We Got Married.
Yeah.
Sherry Beth, what did we talk about last week?
Things we wish we knew before we started sharing our life online.
Because we are coming up on our 10-year anniversary of LeggLife on YouTube.
Yep.
So we talked all about that. And today we're going to talk about another thing, kind of an area of life that, well, unfortunately, we feel like we've learned a lot about in the last several years.
Yeah.
This is things we wish we knew before we experienced a health crisis. So we're going to talk about this from a couple different angles. We're going to talk about it from kind of looking at Sherry's health crisis of a few years ago. We're also going to talk about it kind of health crisis that we've seen families go through, whether it's mom's cancer journey, just kind of other health crisis.
Yeah.
Just kind of lessons that we wish we would have known. Maybe we knew in part, but we didn't quite know in full.
Yeah.
So we spent some time talking about this, and I'm looking forward to sharing this because I feel like if this podcast would have been recorded by somebody else maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been helpful for us.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, there's things we kind of knew in part, things we maybe knew in theory, but and then some things we just didn't maybe know at all, things we didn't realize at all until we were in the middle of it, and we're just like, oh man.
Yeah,
or on the other side of it, and it's been like, oh man.
I think there are some things that you can't learn until you face something.
Yeah.
And I feel like this has been that way for us, that even if we would have heard things, we wouldn't have known to the extent that we needed to know them. And so we have a list here that we kind of went through, and so we're just going to kind of go through those. Sherry Beth, what's the first thing there on our list?
And we don't have to go, we have a few things on the list. We don't necessarily have to like go through the list that we wrote in order. It's kind of as we thought of them. But I am going to start with the first one. I have dealt with chronic illness my entire life. So having a, health crisis wasn't like new to me.
Yeah.
But the severity of this was. And I think that for me, I didn't really realize how much it would change me, not just physically. I mean, it did change me quite a bit physically.
Yeah.
But also mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Like, I just feel like on the other side of this, I am a completely different person.
Okay, so did you, because like you said, you have dealt with chronic pain, you've dealt with chronic illness your whole life. Do you feel like it has always changed you to a point, but this was like supercharged? Or do you feel like explain that to me a little bit.
I kind of feel like this was maybe a little supercharged, but I also kind of feel like maybe because I've kind of dealt with it my whole life, it was just sort of like, especially when it kind of started, it was just like, oh, here's one more thing, it's just like, here we go again. And then when it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and doctors didn't know what it was or how to fix it or how to help me, and doctor after doctor, just like this look of helplessness on their face.
Right.
I think for me, there was a part of me that was just sort of like, oh, like I don't, like this is maybe different, and this is maybe not something that I'm gonna walk away from this time.
So thinking about the topic of this, like things I wish I knew before, if you had known fully how much you would change because of the health crisis. Again, not just physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all that. How would it have helped you to know this? Or would it have helped you to know it in advance?
I think it would have helped me because I think that, and I think we made a video maybe or a podcast or both talking about this. But I mean, there was a point probably about a week or so before I actually got diagnosed with what was actually wrong, where I could actually feel myself dying.
Yeah, right. I'm understanding that.
And I truly didn't think that, I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but like the mental game, I think, is just as important, if not more important than like, physically trying to keep yourself alive. And I think that there was a kind of a point in my health sickness where I was really just sort of like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep fighting, but I don't know that I have a lot left in me to fight with.
And that caught you by surprise.
That caught me by surprise. And I think, again, because I've dealt with chronic pain my entire life. I've dealt with chronic illness my entire life. And so, when it kind of started, it really was just like, here we go again. And so to kind of reach that point where I was just like, oh, this is different. And I don't know if I'm going to make it out of this one alive. Yeah. That was kind of scary. And so I think that, had I known, especially where I would be 5 years later, 4 years later, however long, 4.5 years, I think that actually really would have helped, because I think that, like, I'm so much healthier, physically, mentally, spiritually than I was. And so I think that I think that it would have given me a little more, like, mental oomph to like keep pushing when I didn't think that I had anything left.
Because on one hand, like, the term like, oh, well, you'll be stronger once you get through it. Things will be better once you get through it. Like, those in the middle of things, those are cliches that honestly aren't helpful.
Those are really unhelpful platitudes, because there is when you're in the middle of it, when you're the one going through it in the middle of it, that's one of the least helpful things to hear, because that is just somebody telling you, buck up, and it's just, it's like, I am doing my damnedest right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah, and you're just telling me that I'm not quite there yet. Like, that's not helpful. Yeah, it's just, it's really not very helpful.
Yet, now, 4.5, 5 years down the road, like, if you would have known that, not if you would have been told that by other people, but if you would have known that, it would have made a lot of that mental battle easier.
Yes.
And I think that we're going to go to the important, kind of what you talked about, the mental game in a minute. But I want to give kind of my thought on this topic, because my view is kind of on the opposite side of yours. So specifically when you got sick, you were the one who was sick, and I was the one who was kind of caring for you, going through it with you.
Yeah.
Kind of the same with Mom. Mom was the one who was sick. I was the one. So fortunately, like, knock on wood, like, I haven't gone through my own health crisis yet. I'm sure it will happen, right? Like, let's be real. All of us are gonna die.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, in some ways, like, the clock is ticking on this topic for all of us. For me, one of the things that I was thinking about when you wrote this down, I was thinking about, like, the mental change, the spiritual change, the emotional change that happens in somebody on maybe the caretaker side. I think the word that comes to mind is intention. So, not only after you go through it, like, I'm going to use Mom as an example. I have no idea how long I have with my mom still on earth, right? Like, the cancer hasn't come back. That's amazing. Maybe we have years. Hopefully we have years.
Right.
But whether it's years, days, weeks, or months, I think I will be more intentional with my time with my mom because of going through the health crisis.
Right.
And I wish I would have known, and this is, and again, another kind of cliche that, like, oh, when we go through something like this, it realizes that, man, I wish I would have been more intentional before this. Like, I wish it didn't take something like this for me to remember, like, oh yeah, I should be more intentional. I should call more often. I should, that kind of stuff. And so I think for me, kind of the thing I wish I would have known is the importance of intentionality in relationship. And I think that, I don't know, I think I've always tried to be intentional in relationships, but I think that the health crisis just kind of amplifies that.
Yeah, and I do feel like the kinds of vacations and the way that we have vacationed since I was so sick, I think has changed. I think that we
Explain that. What do you mean?
I feel like we used to kind of vacation, like, do all the things in as short amount of time as possible, go. And I feel like the way that we have vacationed since I was sick is more like, let's enjoy the moment. Let's enjoy each other in the moment. Like, let's kind of soak in what we're actually experiencing instead of just like go and experience as many things as we possibly can so we can remember half of them.
Well, I'll be honest. I actually don't think it's just vacation. I think that we have changed a lot of like our life.
Yeah.
I think that we are quicker to say no to things now.
Yeah.
And faster to say yes to things to us that really matter.
Yeah.
You know, I think that we are less likely to commit to something that feels like an obligation, so that we have space in our life to be able to do things that are important to us.
Yes.
And so I kind of think that it's not just vacation. I actually think that's affected a lot of our life.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, Sherry, I want to jump down on the list to the thing you touched on.
Yeah.
The mental game. So you have shared openly on the podcast, on vlogs, about how there was that point when you were sick and we weren't getting answers and it just kind of seemed like it kept getting worse, where you didn't give up, but you felt yourself getting close to that. And that was a mental struggle for you. And it was interesting because I saw that happening in you. I saw you like shutting down.
Yeah. And I think I even said, there was a point where it wasn't even like get through the day. It wasn't even necessarily get through the hour. It was get through this minute, get through this next 60 seconds, and then we can focus on the next 60 seconds because that's mentally all I could handle.
Yep.
And it was extremely difficult to even just get through that 60 seconds. So, yeah, I mean, and, just because of what it was doing to my body, my body was shutting down. And so, like, mentally, I knew that I had to keep fighting, but, like, I didn't have anything left to fight with. And so, I knew that I had things to live for. I just didn't have anything to fight with. So, that was really hard for me. I wasn't ready to give up, and I didn't want to give up, and I didn't give up because I'm still here. But, it, I think, would have been really easy, to give up, especially if we hadn't gotten the answers when we did.
And that was, I'm trying to think of how to say this, that in the middle of like that health crisis, was that one of the things that surprised you the most or that caught you the most off guard?
That what?
Well, just like getting to a place, because you've battled health stuff your whole life.
Yeah.
But you've never gotten to a place where you wanted to give up.
Right.
And so like, was that a feeling that was like, whoa, what is this? Like what?
Yeah. And I'm, yeah, I think that was kind of a difficult thing for me because I have never had to actually face that before. It's always just been like, of course I'm going to get through this. And it's going to suck for a little bit. It's going to be really difficult, but I'm going to get through it. And there really was a point in this where I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that, watching the pain that was clearly there physically, I'm not sure if that was worse or watching the pain that was clearly there mentally. It was interesting because both of them were so obvious with you. Excruciating pain and complete hopelessness.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which of those was harder to watch.
Yeah.
I think that for me, thinking about like things I wish I would have known before going through this, I think, and this isn't on the list, but I'm kind of thinking about the health, the mental game we're talking about. I think for me it was just kind of that realization, like, and I remember having this realization with you that, like, oh, there's literally nothing I can do to help her. You know, like
there were things physically you could do and were doing to help me, but like mentally there really wasn't anything that you could do to help me fight.
No, there's no like, there's no encouraging word. There's no silver bullet. There's no like thing that I can say that makes this better for you. There's no any of that. It's like,
you were the reason I was fighting. You were, I mean, one of the main reasons I was fighting to stay alive.
But I think you just have to you just have to like keep showing up.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of have to keep being present, and not only keep being present, but like not, I don't know. I don't know what advice I would give to somebody who's like a caretaker. I think I would just say like, just keep going. Like just keep swimming.
And you didn't make me feel like a burden, which I think might have made it harder for me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
You kept showing up because you loved me and because you wanted me to keep fighting, and you just kept saying, we're going to get through this. We are going to get through this. And so, I think that helped me too. And I think that if you were just like, ugh, again.
Yeah.
Here we are again.
Here we go. Like more lotion.
More lotion. We just did this, but here we are again.
Yeah.
If I had felt like a burden, I think that it would have been harder for me to keep fighting mentally.
Wow, that's really good insight.
Yeah. And that just sort of occurred to me because you did not make me feel like a burden.
Yeah, that's great insight. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So this is actually one that I'm trying to think if this is my greatest takeaway. The thing that I wish I would have, I think that this would be it. I think this is my number one, like the thing I wish I would have known. Because in some ways I wish this wasn't the case, but it's how much you have to be your own advocate.
Yeah.
You guys, I have been so and continue to be so frustrated with the way our healthcare system works. Watching what Sherry has had to do.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Watching what Sherry has had to do. Watching what my mom has had to do. Watching the things that they're going through to stay alive. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to, I'm really not going to try to rant a ton on this.
But we could.
But I think I was too naive because I wanted to believe that it was a system that would work and help take care of people. And I think I've just realized that there is so little care in healthcare. And then here's the thing. That is not a slam against doctors and nurses. You have had the most amazing doctors and nurses. My mom had the most amazing doctors and nurses.
It's not a slam against the individuals. It's a slam against the system itself.
Yeah. And if Sherry would, I'm pretty sure they would have gladly let you die in your chair. And I'm pretty sure they would have gladly let mom like die in that hospital bed if you hadn't have pushed to be your own advocate.
Yeah.
Like the amount of things that you had to pursue, that you had to like, even when you had no energy left, that you had to continue to call. And like, I would do what I could, but sometimes they would only talk to you.
Yeah.
And the amount of times that you had to be your own advocate. And here's the thing. This is what's crazy. To this day, still have to be.
Still having to fight.
We are in the middle of a battle with insurance.
For my medication.
Over medication.
Literally keeping me alive.
That is keeping you alive. And we are currently still having to fight to get that.
Yeah.
It is genuinely insane to me how they would rather people die than get the help they need. I don't even have words at how horrible and how inhumane and how wrong and evil our system feels. I cannot believe that is what we have. We are, sorry, I am ranting a little bit. Like, we are an amazing country. We are a country that has like changed the face of the world. Yet this is how we treat people who are sick or on their deathbed or battling like unmentionable pain and suffering. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We should absolutely be ashamed that this is how our system works.
Yes.
Yes. And I would just say that like, and I remember I've said this a lot to my mom, because in some ways going through your health crisis, I think actually helped me help mom through hers. Like just kind of the reminder that it's like, mom, got to advocate. You've got to call. You've got to do this. You've got to push. You've got to do this. Because like, here's the thing. Nobody else is going to for you. They're not going to take the initiative. They're not going to help. Like you have to be the one doing this.
Yep. And I mean, she has an incredible medical care team. I have an incredible physician and care team, like, who truly care about me as a person. And I know that. But they also have other patients, and they can't spend all their time fighting my battle. And so, like, I have to be the one on the phone with the insurance. I have to be the one on the phone with the pharmacy. Like, I can follow up with my doctor and just be, and, you know, let them know what's going on. And then they can also put in their phone calls, and they have, and they do. But I have to be the one to, like, initiate all of that, because they just don't have, they have so many other patients. They can't spend all their time fighting my battle.
Yeah.
And so, like, I have to be the one. And it's so frustrating that I have to continue to do this 5 years later.
Yeah.
Why can't I just keep my medication that I've been on? Thank you very much. But
yeah, we know it works. This is the answer. But, like, nope. Insurance says now we're going to try something different. So let's move you over here. It's insane.
And then not pay for it.
It is.
Cool.
It is so insane to me.
It's ridiculous.
It has been one of the most eye-opening things through all of the health crisis is how broken the system is.
Mm-hmm. How much they just don't care about people. They truly care about lining their own pockets. That's really all they care about.
But I do want to switch the conversation to the next thing on our list, because there are people who do care.
Yes.
And the next thing that we wish we would have known before we went through the health crisis was the importance of a care team.
Yes. And that's specifically the medical professionals.
Yep. So one of the greatest blessings that came out of you getting sick is that now you have the most unbelievable care team.
Yes.
Like, you have a doctor who knows you and who cares about you and who is invested in you and who has proven, like, how much she cares.
And everybody in her office knows me and cares about me, and, like,
Yep.
yeah.
And the same with Mom. Like, I remember like the nurses that she met down there, the doctors that I really do credit with saving her life. You know, even to the CEO of the hospital system that Mom was in, who watched one of our YouTube videos and then reached out to us and, like, had people show up to take care of Mom. Like, in the middle of this, we saw people who put the care in healthcare. And that honestly was it was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Especially after battling the people who just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that, like, the importance of a care team is so huge, not just, like, leading up to it, not just, like, as you go through life, but, man, when you face something that is serious, like, you want people who are on your side facing that with you.
Yeah.
Tell me, for you, like, now you got Dr. G, you've got, like, this amazing team. How does that make you feel looking forward? Because the reality is, like, we're going to have more health battles, right? We're getting older, like, life happens.
I still have my chronic illness. It gives me a sense of peace knowing that that they're there, that I can call them and that they've got my back. And, you know, we've discussed sometime possibly leaving Alaska. There's a part of me that's like, can I just bring my whole care team with me?
Right.
Because, like, or am I just going to be flying back up to Alaska every time I need to, like, have a doctor's appointment? Like, because I don't want to lose them. It's, yeah, I mean, they have been incredible. So life-changing for me.
And one of the things, even recently with the change in the medication, that the insurance, here's the thing, like, none of the stuff we're currently battling is at the hands of your doctor. Like, if anything, she's fighting for you.
Absolutely.
And so, as you know, as pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies want you to try different medications, even though your doctor has one that literally saved your life. Like, there have been moments in that where you've really been emotional and, like, scared. It's like, oh my gosh, they're going to make me change this. What if it doesn't work? What if I go back to how I was?
My doctor's like, we will not let that happen.
So that's what I was just going to say, is that in the middle of a lot of the fear, one of the things that brings peace is, that's right, I have a team who cares about me and who's not going to let it get back to how it was. No, you know what I mean? It's like, It's like, this is really scary. Yes. There's, like, a lot of uncertainty. Yes. But That's right. I have a care team that really does fight for me.
Yeah.
And is not going to let it get back to how it was.
Right.
And so I think not just a team to walk you through it, but kind of those reminders that in the future, it's like, oh my gosh, this is another scary thing I'm facing, but now I have a team.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And I think one of the other things, if you want to move on, is there anything else with that?
No, I think it's so important to truly have a doctor that cares about you as a person, not just as a patient.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's a good word. The next thing I think that's really important, that when we learned this, and this was a hard one for me, was the importance of community.
Yeah.
We have always been, and I think we talked about this in a podcast, we've always been the couple who tried to help others.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have kids, we got 2 jobs, we got some disposable income. And so it's like when somebody's sick, when there's like a new baby, when somebody's in the hospital, we love helping, whether it's DoorDash or meals or just kind of showing up, whatever is needed. Like, we love that.
Babysitting for date night. So, yeah, mom and dad can go have a date night and we'll watch the kids.
Oh, man.
We step in wherever we can.
We love being on the giving end of community. We hate being on the receiving end of community.
It's very hard.
We hate being the ones who have need.
Yeah.
But you guys, like, when Sherry was sick,
our community showed up
in the most amazing ways.
Yeah.
Like, friends that would just show up on our front porch with dinner, that there was no like, hey, want to come in and just see how you're doing? Literally just like dropping it off, being like, you know what, we don't want to take any time. We know what you guys are going through. We just want you to know you're loved and here's dinner.
Friends who would, like, knowing that we wouldn't want to hang out or I was not able to entertain.
Yeah.
They would literally drop it on our porch and text us, hey, we left you dinner.
Yeah, there's stuff outside. Go get it. And I just felt like...
We didn't even have to, like, answer the door.
No.
Yeah.
Like, they just, like, literally left it and
Yeah.
then sent a text. And I just feel like I wish I would have known. I think we all say that. It's like, oh, we need our community. We need our community. But, man, when, like, shit hit the fan and we hit, like, health crisis got bad, yeah, our people showed up. And that was such a lifesaver.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that we knew in theory, but, like, now we know it in practice because that was huge for us.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just, like, our in-person, like friends here in Anchorage. I mean, you guys with the LeggLife community. I think of all the boxes of CeraVe lotion that were showing up at our
And
P.O.
cards
box.
and books and
Flowers and balloons.
Yeah, so many gifts and so much thought just for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the community was huge. And then I think about Mom, you know. I'm in Alaska, my brother's in Florida, and Mom, right in the middle of the country, is battling stage 4 aggressive cancer. And I spent as much time down there as I could. My brother spent a bunch of time down there. But there were times that both of us had to be back home. And knowing that she had friends who were driving her 45 minutes to her chemo appointments, sitting with her while she did chemo for hours, and then driving her home, knowing that she was having friends that were checking in on her, knowing that she was having friends that were helping pick up medication or do things.
Bring her meals.
Like,
Yep.
It's just, I think that one of my takeaways is, like, I think that that's part of life. I actually think that we are meant to need each other.
Yeah.
I think that we're meant to be interdependent, not independent. And I think that shows itself so much when dealing with the health crisis, because you're put in a place where, like, I have to need you. You know, like,
Yeah.
like most of life, we try to, like, avoid need. It's like, I want to be so comfortable and so, like, independent that I don't need you. But it's like, man, to be in a place of need and to have people show up.
Yeah.
That's something that I think you're right. We knew that, but we really learned what that was like, I think, during that season.
Yeah.
All right, Sherry Beth, next thing on our list. I'm going to talk about this one here at the bottom.
Yeah.
And this is one I don't think either of us ever considered.
Did not consider, but I will say, so I was in a different, so it's the importance of having a work environment that truly cares about you. Again, as a person, not just as a number. I I'm no longer in the job that I was in when I was sick. I'm at a different company now. But I will say that was a thought going into the interviews for this job. Like, are they going to care about me as a person? Because if I have another health crisis, if this flares back up and I need to take time off, are they going to give me that time that I need? Or am I just going to get fired?
Yeah.
That was a thought, and that was, it's something that kind of went into my decision to take this job and to stay in this job.
I think when people approach careers, and actually that's one of the topics we want to do in a future podcast in this series is like things we wish you knew before we chose our careers. And so we may even retouch on this again. But I think that when you're thinking of careers, a lot of times you think of salary, you think of vacation time,
benefits,
you think of those kind of things. But one of the things that I don't think I've ever thought about is like, what happens when your mom gets cancer? What happens when your wife like is sick for 5 months? You basically, how long do you think you were out of work?
So I worked from home. But there were, I don't know. I did my best to keep up on what I could, but I think that there was probably maybe a 2-month period where I worked maybe an hour a day, maybe, and 5 hours a week, maybe.
Yep.
And that's generous.
Yeah, but that's when it's worse. How long do you think that you didn't you weren't going into the office, you weren't working 40 hours?
Yeah. So there was, I think I went back into the office. I actually have this in my time hop and I forget the actual date, but I think that it was April or May something. Probably May something by the time I was actually good enough to go back into the office. And I think that my calendar, like my daily calendar, was set on like November or something.
All right. So let's just say you were December, January, February, March, April, May.
Yeah.
So 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
Of being
where I didn't step foot in my
mostly
office.
Out of the office.
Yeah.
And working, sporadically at best.
Very minimal, yeah.
Yet you were paid fully.
I was paid full time.
That entire time.
Yeah. They didn't make me take sick leave or PTO.
Like, that is the kind of thing that all of a sudden your salary doesn't matter. All of a sudden the benefits, the vacation time, those things don't matter because like you are so well cared for. Right? Like I would gladly take a smaller salary to have that kind of care.
Yeah.
That you were able to be out. And not only that, but like they would check on you. They would like call and make sure you were doing okay. And like they cared well for you during that.
Yeah.
And that's, I just don't think that a caring work environment is thought of enough. And for me, it's, a little bit different because I'm the boss there.
But at the same time, still had to take a lot of time off work to care for me.
Well, I had to care for you. And then all the time to fly to Colorado to be with mom.
Yeah.
Like, and my team encouraged me to go. Like they pushed me. The board knew and encouraged me and pushed me. And so like it was to have environments that just care well for you. Yeah. When you're going through something like that, I think is huge. And I think that's one of the I don't know, maybe benefits of a job that often gets overlooked.
I would agree. Yep.
Is this a space that if I or my loved one has a significant health issue that I can't be present with them because I have to be in the office? Right. I'm so thankful that wasn't the case for us.
Yeah, me too.
And that actually kind of leads us into the last point. And that's that I wish I would have known before we experienced health crisis just how much everything else takes a backseat.
Everything else in life. Nothing else is nearly as important.
The focus, for you, was on, like giving yourself space to heal and go to doctor's appointments and get a diagnosis. Like that was the whole, there was no other point of life at that point.
And there was a pretty significant chunk of time where we were literally setting the alarm for every 2 hours, 24 hours a day, to get up and put lotion all over my body.
Yeah.
Because my skin was drying out so quickly and cracking and breaking. And so like we had to keep it lotioned. And so every 2 hours. And
so sleep takes a backseat.
Right. Sleep was not
hygiene takes a backseat.
Right.
Like everything in life, like checking in with friends. And you know, what's crazy. I don't even know. I'm sure we missed birthdays. I'm sure we missed like other things in that season because like we didn't have time to focus on other things. Right. Just like everything else took a back seat. And in some ways, like, I'm so thankful that you got a diagnosis and healed. I'm so thankful that mom like is cancer free. Mm-hmm. But if those outcomes would have been different, like you get one chance to walk a loved person, like a loved one to death.
Right.
You know, like you get one chance to do this right.
And if you're just like, well, I got to go to work by...
Yeah. Or like not even if it's not work, just like it's other life stuff, to be able to set everything down and to be able to say like, my goal is to care well for my wife while she is going through this. My goal is to take care of my mom while she's going through this. Or for you, like your goal is to like, this is mentally hard enough. And so your goal is to sit in the chair and rest.
Right.
You know, like you don't have anything else to like focus on or do because nothing else in life is as important as that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Nice, happy topic we talked about today.
But here's the thing, like it's not a happy topic, but I will say one of my thoughts, more so with mom, because I feel like with you, we always knew that it could have potentially been bad. Mm-hmm. Like we knew that in the majority of cases, like it is fatal. But
well, we didn't know that until I got my diagnosis.
Well, I knew that.
You didn't know that that's that I had.
Well, I mean, I knew about exfoliative erythroderma before Dr. Grimberg's office.
Yeah.
Because of our viewer, I just didn't tell you any of that stuff.
Right.
Like that.
But we didn't know that that's actually what I had.
Right. And so, like, I think that was another thing. Like, I kind of kept what it was from Sherry. But
which I appreciate.
No, the reason is that, like, I saw you giving up. And if I tell you this thing that, like, you Google and see that, like, the majority of cases people don't survive, what does that do to the fact if you're already on the edge of wanting to give up?
Right.
And so it's almost like, hey, let's literally not tell Sherry anything.
Right. Yeah.
Like, let's just, like, let's get her to the doctor.
We've got this. It's going to be fine.
Everything's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
But I think with mom, it was like, you know, we really thought that she had like 6 weeks, you know, or whatever it was. And so, yeah. And so I just think that you get one shot to do that right. Mm-hmm. You get one chance to do this right. And, yeah, goodness. Yeah. I don't even remember what we were talking about. I was saying something and got distracted. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a question for them?
I don't think so.
Anything you want to know from our peoples today, or are we just going to leave them depressed? All right, everybody, now that you're sad, go to your liquor cabinets. Good Lord, I'm so sorry.
I know.
I wonder if there's a happy topic, because, like, is there a happy topic we could do in this series?
I mean, I don't think that, I mean, I think this one's kind of depressing just because it's talking about, like, health crisis, but, like, I don't know. I think the rest of the series, they're not bad. I think it's just things that we would wish we had known before. I think that they're not good or bad topics either way.
That's a good point.
I think this one's just kind of hard to talk about because we have to bring up...
Well, because they're hard situations.
They're hard situations. We have to bring up bad memories, but...
But the reality is like, I think that knowing that health crises are always hard situations, it's even more important to go into those being prepared.
Yeah.
You know, to say like, to pick up a mirror and be like, gosh, all of us are going to do this. Literally every one of us is going to have a health crisis in our life.
I should probably make sure I have a good community in place that can help, even if I don't want it.
Yeah, what does my care team look like?
What does my care team look like? What is my work environment? Would would they be able to handle me being out of work for 5 months?
How am I doing mentally? Like, if I was to like have a big issue hit right now, am I already on the verge of like mental issues, or like am I mentally in a pretty strong place that like I think I'd be able to stand under some pretty heavy stuff?
Right.
I think all of that, like that's, it's healthy to look at that stuff in advance, because when you get in the middle of it, sometimes it's too late. It's like, damn, I wish I would have done this before.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that for us, there's a lot of things like I'm so thankful that we already had a good community.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so thankful.
So thankful I already had an amazing work environment.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that I found my care team in the midst of this. Yeah.
And even I think, like, as you said, that, you know, you had learned the importance of a healthy work environment at your last job. And so when you were looking for a new job, that was one of the priorities. And that's one of the reasons you chose, like, Call an America Princess, is that as you were interviewing and talking to people who have worked there for, you know, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, one of the things you kept hearing was how much they cared, how much people loved their job, how well people were treated.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that's the kind of environment
That's what I need. That's what I want. That's the kind of people I want to surround myself with.
Gosh. So friends, there you go. Another happy topic here on the LeggLife Podcast. You guys, we love you. Thanks for listening with us. And thanks for being a part of a community that did support us going through all of that stuff. And yeah, there you go. I don't even know how to end this.
I don't know either, but
all right, friends.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll just talk to you next week.
We'll see you on
our next one.
We'll see you next week on the next LeggLife Podcast. We love you, friends.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.